What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Baggers and Bourbon. I'm your boy Cam, and on today's episode, we're going to be talking about camshafts. Which camshafts give you that proven performance, right? Camshafts are a very tricky thing, right? Because what runs in another guy's bike may not run the same in your bike, right? Depending on setup. What type of exhaust he's running, what type of engine he's running, what type of springs he got in his bike, how big of an engine he's running. Do he have a shorty 2-in-1? Do he have a full length 2-in-1? What type of fuel injectors are he running? What type of aftermarket throttle body and manifold are these guys running? All of those different things can alter your bike's performance, right? I was on Facebook last night in one of those Facebook performance Harley groups that I'm currently in, and I'm in a couple of them, right? And one of the guys was talking about, you know, what type of cam should he run in his bike, right? And was changing his cam of choice that he had currently in his bike out, right? And he was running a 475, right? He was running a 475 in his bike, right? And I would say you have your different choices of camshafts, right? But I would say one of the brands that I'm currently running in my bike are not one of the two cams of choice. It's not that I'm currently running in my bike, but I'm giving you my top two cams of choice, all right? Now, Cyclorama makes 5 different bolt-in camshafts of choice, right? And we're going to go through those cams for you, right? So the first one that they currently have, and it's just a straight bolt-in one, and like I said, it's going to be 2 brands that I'm going to give you guys, right? And I'm going to name 5 of them from the first brand, right? Cyclorama, the 470, that is a straight bolt-in cam, right? It's a straight drop-in cam, and it'll work for your stock springs, and your power range, your power comes in between 2,800 and 5,800 RPMs. This cam, like I say, make great torque in the mid-range with good top-end power for aggressive riding, right? So that is almost the same as if someone was throwing in a, let's say, a S&S 475 or a Redshift cam, right? But like I say, Cyclorama is really giving it up right now, and almost like every guy in that performance bagger group was talking about Cycloramas, but like that's what I also recommended for him, right? And like I say, that is just for a regular basic stock engine with stock valve springs, right? So like I said, if you guys want something to just drop into your bike with stock springs, it would be that Cyclorama 470, all right? Then I would go to the Cyclorama 480, right? This Cyclorama 480 is designed for, it got low to mid RPM power for your 107s, 114s, and 117 motors. And it also works well with stock valve springs. Again, stock valve springs. You have to make sure that you're not jumping out here and you're grabbing a cam that is too big for the valve springs that you also have in your bike. You want to make sure that your valve springs can handle that pressure, right? Then, so that was 2 that I named. Then we're going to go to the Cyclorama 482. All right, that Cyclorama 482 is a drop-in cam for stock springs also, but it's also designed for a 124 and a 128 engines. The power range comes in between 2,800 RPMs to 5,800 RPMs. This cam packs mid-range power and horsepower for aggressive riders. Best result is if you are doing a upgrade on your engine, please make sure that your compression is between 11.5 to 1 compression. Do not go below that because you will not get that peak power, right? You will not get that peak power, right? So please make sure that you read the description when you guys are buying some of these pistons and cylinder kits online, all right? All right, also, we're going to jump, so that was cam number 3. We're going to jump in at the Cyclorama 512 kit, right? The Cyclorama 512, hey, look. I'm not going to give you the sauce. I'm not going to give you all of the sauce, right? But I will tell you, that cam there is something. That cam is something. That's all I'm going to say. It is designed specifically as a drop-in cam for Harley's 128 and 131 engines. Great horsepower, massive mid-range torque, right? As long as you're running a great motor in your bike and you have done your valve springs, because you're going to need to do your valve springs. Star sells a 640 valve spring, and S&S sells some 605 valve springs, right? But you are going to need to do your valve springs, all right? But like I said, that cam there, hey, that's one for you. All right, now we're going to go to their last cam that they make, right? This cam is Cyclorama's 540 and 2 chain drive cam, right? This cam is designed as a high output cam for big bore M8 motors. You need to make sure that you also have head work done on your bike. So it's either you send your heads out to get done, or you buy heads. You can either go through T-Man, they make some hell of a heads. Fuel Moto got some level Z heads. And also Ward's have a +1 and +2 heads. So you're going to make sure that you get heads done, but also you're going to need high lift valve springs. Please listen to me. You're going to need high lift valve springs. So, like I said, you might as well go on and jump out there in the deep end, spend the money. You might as well cry once, all right? Cry once, let your pockets hurt a little bit, and get the Star Racing 640 SK valve springs. Those are going to be great valve springs for performance Harleys, right? Also, I'm giving you guys a little bit. Fucking Cyclorama, hey, they cooking with gas over there. I don't normally say this, but them motherfuckers cooking with gas. Proven performance. All right? All right. Next up, we have Star Racing camshafts, right? So I already gave you guys the Cycloramas, right? Gave you guys a little bit of sauce. Next up, we got Star Racing by George Bryce. All right. He has 4 cams. The 3030 is a bolt-in cam for the M8s, right? You have a 1700 to 5500 RPM range. It is a 485 lift cam, right? It works well with stock springs, so it is a truly bolt-in cam, right? You don't have to change anything out of your engine. You don't have to change valve springs. You can use stock valve springs, stock engine. It works well with the 107s, 114s, and 117s, right? It sounds like a Harley. It has that look. It don't sound like a regular Harley once you buy it off the showroom floor. Just no. This thing it got that chop on it, right? And it also has a unique combination of torque. right? But that cam is going to give you great horsepower and torque out of a stock engine, right? I was talking to one of the dyno guys, right? And I'm gonna put his stuff. He's called Redline Dyno. He's out of Mooryock, North Carolina, but he's in between Mooryock, North Carolina, and the 7 cities, which means Hampton, Newport News, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Chesapeake, Norfolk, right? He's in between the 7 cities, so he goes in between. You can either meet him or whatever, but I'll put his information right there. And I'm going to, like I say, I'm shouting him out. Redline Dyno, LLC. But he's currently running one of those in his bike, and I think he told me he had an ST and a 117, and he put the 3030 in his bike. Shit, and he's like at 134 and some change, just stock with that goddamn cam. So you do your math on that. All right? The next cam up, it's going to be the Star Racing F35A. With this cam, it is going to be a ball 10 cam. It has high lift and short duration, performs like the infamous 3030. But you're going to need high lift valve springs. Like always, you might as well, if you're going to run the Star F35 or Star Racing Camshafts or whatever, you might as well go ahead and get the George Bryce 640 SK valve springs, the 640 SK, because you're going to need to change out your valve springs, but it will work with a stock engine. You're just going to have to take out the valve springs and replace them. This is the biggest, most powerfulest cam that fits a stock engine also. And it's designed for RPMs of 2,500 RPMs and up. All right. The next one, it's going to be the 3/4 cam. I'm going to tell you this. This cam right here is like that 3/4 race cam. It's going to be between 2,500 and 6,500 RPM range. It got a 585 lift on it. It's going, like I say again, it requires high lift valve springs. Please just don't buy it and think you're going to throw it in a 117 because it's not going to fit. 114 or 107 is not going to fit. It's designed for a 124 engine or higher or bigger. This fucking cam right here is going to give you that fucking oomph. I don't say this about a lot of things, right? Because like I say, jumping into this performance bagger shit, I made a few mistakes. But like I say, if you're going to want to do something to your bike, hey, these two brands are going to give you what you want. Whether you got a bigger engine or a smaller engine, these fucking cams are going to give you that. And the fourth one on the list from George Bryce, it is going to be that 615 full race. From 3,000 to 7,000 RPMs, it got a 615 lift on it, so you're going to need his valve springs. Again, you guys are going to keep saying, well, damn, he keep repeating valve springs. Because for guys that don't know anything about bikes or engines or anything, you're going to need valve springs, right? Designed for maximum performance in big cubic inch motors. This shit ain't going in 107s, it ain't going in 114s, and it damn sure ain't going into a 117. And I wouldn't even feel comfortable putting this motherfucker in a 124. Truth be told, this thing is designed for a 131 or greater, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with putting it in a 131. That is my honest God opinion. Some guys may say, damn, he wrong. I just wouldn't feel comfortable with putting that in there. All right? Now, you can run this shit in a, what is it? You can run this in a 135. You can fuck around and put it in a 139. You can put it in a 143. And I'm telling you, you drop this bitch in a 143. And of course, you got to do your fuel injectors. Make sure you got the right exhaust on it or whatever. And a little bit, make sure you do your fucking crank, your bottom end. Take that crank out, get it welded, get it re-rodded and all of that shit. Balance, trued, and plug, right? You're really cooking with fucking gas. You cooking with gas. And even with this Cam, man, a 143, your bike can still be a road bike. It just wouldn't be a, like I said, it's not, it's still going to be a road bike. You can still ride it, right? But this fucking Cam right here, it's going to be like that, the Cyclorama biggest Cam. But these two brands, like I said, are going to give you that oomph. All right? So remember, we're drinking Reservoir Bourbon out of Richmond, Virginia. You can either get it shipped to you, or if you're local in the area or around the DMV area, or if you're passing through Virginia, stop in Richmond, Virginia, check out Reservoir Distillery. Like I say, they make an awesome bourbon. All right? Remember, this is the channel where the rubber meets the road. And always, we know the bourbon is always essential for the soul. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please make sure that you click that notification bell at the top and set it so that you receive notifications every time I upload a video. I'm your boy Cam. Thank you guys for your support and all my new subscribers. I greatly appreciate it.